Hi everyone, welcome to the very first tarot reading for Black Orchid Alchemy. So these tarot readings that I'm doing are just a collective reading really, for the group in particular, and for the group members. So it's based around our mental health, depression and anxiety. I always tend to include anxiety in there because they're always, not always, but most of the time go hand in hand. And let's face it, depression can cause anxiety anyway. So if you hear me talking about depression and anxiety, that's why. So first readings, these readings are just 3-card readings. Simply because this is an add-on, it's a complementary thing, and I don't want it to be something that you stress about, something that you obsess about, something that weighs you down. So I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible. So that means a 3-card spread, which is always, as simple as it gets. Well, not really. You can do a 1 card, I suppose, for tarot. But anyway, whoops, cards flying all about the place, which is normal. Now, yes, sometimes that's considered a joke. I kind of tend to go on instinct as to whether, or intuition rather, as to whether or not I consider that a jumper. Still shuffling. It's me just trying to shuffle with long nails. So the spread that we're going to do is one that I've come up with myself. It's probably not hugely different from many others you come across, but feel free to use it yourself with your own tarot deck if you'd like, if you think that it's helpful. But as I say, this is just for the collective at the moment. So I haven't really got a decent camera, so you can't kind of see the cards as we go, but we will hopefully do our best. So I've just cut the cards. I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing. I'm just spreading them open, and now I'll choose my 3. So we've got 1, 2, and 3. I have meditated, cleansed, and done all that stuff beforehand today. So, some people don't believe that that's necessary. I just kind of puts me in the right headspace. Little doggy growling at my feet. Never mind. Okay. So the 3 in the and I mean, I'll show you photos if I can. I'm not going to be able to do that actually. I might be able to. Anyway, so I'm just laying out the 3 cards, 1, 2, 3 in a row. I'll send you a photo. I'll take a picture of it. 2. Whoops. Let me take a photo while I'm here, and I will hopefully post this. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to post them on the site yet, but we shall find a way. No, we want to do it that way, really, don't we? So that's a photo of our 3 cards. First card that we have in the first position. Okay, so this is about the issues that will be kind of hovering over us this week. Now, when I say issues, these can be, and keep in mind that this is all about depression. So the issues can be, things like, I don't know, having shit days, or, we know what issues are. But they can also be things that are good things that we are perhaps struggling with, because when we have depression, we often struggle with the good as well as the bad. Yeah, unfortunate. That's how it works. So in the position of the issues, struggles, good shit, things that we might have to cope with this week, we have the Chariot. Okay. Now, the deck I'm using is based off the traditional Rider-Waite. I say traditional, it's the most commonly known one, but the deck I'm using is the Darkwood Tarot by Sasha Graham and Abigail Larson. So it might look a little bit different from the tarot cards that you've got, but it is a really cool deck, and it's really cool for shadow work. So in the position of things we may be looking at this week, we have the Chariot. Now, Chariot is all about movement. It's about moving forward. In the Rider-Waite, it's usually a chariot and there's a guy, you know, kind of pushing it forward. And here we have the eagle whose wings are spread, is in flight and is moving. So it's all about movement. So in terms of depression, movement can be a struggle. As we know, movement can be a struggle. So you may find that in the coming week, you might have some struggle, might have some problems with motivation, which of course is relatively common. You may find that, but also, you're struggling to actually physically move forward, physically do the stuff. So you know, they're getting out of bed and they're getting dressed and they're getting outside and doing shit. Maybe just a little bit tough this week. Don't worry, we'll get to what we can do about it. But it could also be movement in your head that you're struggling with. So by that, I mean things like struggling to dream, to have wishes, desires, things to look forward to, struggling to see past the next day. Sometimes, you know, when we have depression, it's appropriate not to look at the next day because it's just too fucking hard. At other times, it's a tool we need to carry us through to the next day. So you can look at things that you want to do without actually believing you'll be able to do them. Okay, you don't have to believe, you'll have to do them to get the benefit from this one. Okay, so that's kind of what could be coming up for us this week. So the next card is basically where we are now, so where we're at right now, and it's the Page of Pentacles. Now all the pages are messengers, okay, and messages that can come in any form. She is holding a pentacle. Pentacles are about coins. So you may find that you get a message this week about how to manage your depression through your work or through how you earn an income. Now, that doesn't have to be somebody saying to you, oh, you need to do this, will help with your depression. It could be something like, I don't know, you see something that makes you smile. Okay. So where we are now, where we're at right now, is to look for those messages. Keep an eye out for those things that give us a little bit of relief from the depression, even if it's only just a couple of seconds, because as we know, a couple of seconds relief is heaps. When we're right down in the pit, it's heaps. So keep an eye out for those messages. Now, it could be through your work. It could be through something you'd like to do, a business you'd like to start. It is, and I say it is coin related, it is money related. So it is about how you get your income. So, I mean, if you're on the sickness benefit and you can't work, there may be something around that that's going to give you a message, or there could be something around there in the next week that ignites something at you that thinks, shit, I could turn that into a wee business, you know. And as it moves on from the first card, which is all about movement, and as I said, it's about, that can also be about the movement in your head. It could be the thinking about going forward. Okay, so keep an eye out for those. Now, third card in this reading is what we're going to do about it all. Okay, so just to kind of recap, our first card is the stuff that's going on for us in the next week, the barriers, the bonuses, the messages, that kind of thing. Where we are, the middle card is where we are now, what's going on for us. And when I say now exactly, okay, I don't mean this minute exactly, although this minute could be it. It's kind of in the space of, you know, the general kind of idea of where we are at right now, and like 24 hours ahead, 24 hours past. Just kind of in general, you know, it's difficult to put a time on it because Tara doesn't like to put times on things, but it's kind of where you're at. So it can also be, again, where you're at with your depression, where your head's at, what's going on there. Third card is about how we can manage these other two. Okay, So what we've got here is the Nine of Wands. Now, he's an interesting little character, this dude. Wands are about, while I'm explaining this to you, I'm going to have to plug my computer in. A wee notice has just come up. Wands are about, so I'll put them down for the minute as I'm talking. Wands are about passion. Wands are about the things we care about, the things we love, and they can also have an element of magic to them, depending on what magic means for you. Nines are about the endings of cycles. Now, endings can be really tricky for those of us that have depression, because we're not too good with grief. We don't need any extra shit, thank you very much. But endings are also, you know, they're a fact of life, aren't they? And they also lead to newer things, because everything ends, things begin. That's what happens. Now, this shady character here is behind his gate. He's behind a gate of his own creating. Okay. Now, he can either be beckoning you forward to let him out, or beckoning you forward to join him. Okay. He's got a bit of, to my mind, he's got a bit of the clown around him, the trickster Loki, if you will. So, you know, he can't be trusted. And he especially can't be trusted because he's put himself behind these bars. So he's got himself behind his own passions. All right. So he's got lost. I mean, in many ways, he's kind of epitome of, I don't know if I said that word right, but he's the poster boy, shall we say, for what we do here in Black Orchid Alchemy, is we reignite and reconnect with our passions to help us manage our depression. And this dude's forgotten how. He's well and truly tucked behind this kind of fence of his own making. He could easily climb over the top. He's got big long legs, it's not that difficult. So he could climb over the top to go out. He could go around this way because there's room to maneuver. There's different ways for him to let out. He doesn't necessarily need somebody else. So he may be asking for help, but he doesn't necessarily need it. Okay. So let's put them all together. All right. I struggled to pick these up. These nails are very pretty, but can't do things with them. Right, so I'm struggling to pick up my cards, but we will get there. So let's look at the three together. Can you see them there? Trying to hold them up. Yeah. So what we've got going on is we've got movement happening this week. And if it's not happening for us naturally, we need to be making it happen. We need to be moving forward. So that forward can be actual steps forward, or it can be getting your head into a place where you're starting to look towards something. Now, just to reiterate, you don't need to believe that this is possible. This is not what this is about. At this point, you do not need to believe that it's possible. You just need to think about what you'd like to do. Good way to do that is get yourself a pen and paper. I'm a big fan of pen and paper. And just let your brain go. What would you do if you didn't have depression? What would you do with your life? Okay. Make that decision. Make that decision. And at this stage, you're not even deciding that you're going to do it. You're deciding what you would do if you were going to do it. Okay. This is simple stuff. We're not overcomplicating things. This is your basics. Okay. So do that. Get your decide where it is you want to go. All right. Keep an eye out for the messages that'll be around. Now, they'll either come through your work or through how you earn your income. The message could also be, if you're struggling with this card and you don't know what you want to do, the message could be this enlightening you. Okay, the Page of Pentacles. So keep an eye out. One of the good exercises, and there's a worksheet in the library there. If it's not in the library there, I'll make sure it's in there by the end of today, because I do have the worksheet. And the worksheet helps you to remember things that you used to care about when you were a kid. And those are the things, I mean, a lot of your passions when you're a child disappear as you get older. Not all of them. A lot of them stay, and a lot of them grow up into adult versions. Okay. And those are the things that you need to reconnect with. So grab that worksheet if you're struggling with figuring these out. All right. Again, if you're struggling with figuring these ones out, it is about releasing your passions from behind the wall that they're in right now. The one that the depression does, as you know, the demon depression holds up a wall in front of you so that you can't reconnect with these things. Okay, so the 9 of Wands is here to tell you you need to. All right, use that worksheet. You can also ask for help. He is beckoning for help. So if there's somebody around you, for example, you know, go back to any siblings, your parents if you can, school friends, go back to those people and say, hey, do you remember what we used to do when we were kids? Do you remember? And there might be some clues in there as to. Okay. Now, when you're doing this exercise, don't think that you have to get excited about it. If you do get excited about it, brilliant. That's great. If you don't, it doesn't matter. At this moment, it's a thought process. That's what we're looking at, okay? It's not, don't worry if you're not feeling any emotions about it, all right? You just want to get these actions done, okay? So there you go. So hopefully that makes some sense for you. If you've got any questions about the reading, just flip me an email, send me a message. I will get this up on the website later on today. Not sure how, but I'm sure I will. And I will talk to you next week. Okay, bye.